Since the founding fathers, the love of the land is something buried deep inside of us. It is our heritage, our history, our passion. And we are its greatest stewards. From the smallest blades of grass to the widest of nature's wonders, this is who we are. This is Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land. Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Polaris Off-Road, Think Outside, Winchester Ammunition and Firearms, the American legend. Hayden Outdoors, the brand that sells the land. Outdoor Lending, we find the best loan for your land. Western Heritage Consulting and Engineering, envision, design, build. Conterra, financing American agriculture. And True Timber, the world's best-selling camo.
Welcome to Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land. I'm your host, Allen Treadwell. In this episode, we find ourselves in Idaho on a large irrigated crop farm, and then it's off to the Texas Hill Country where we check out a winery and vineyard. Then we travel to Oregon to hear from Austin Callison about a large ranch that he has listed with BLM grazing permits, water rights, and a creek throughout the length of the property. Then we're off to New Mexico to meet up with Greg Little. He has an exceptional ranch listed in the middle of Big Bull Elk Country in famed Unit 12. But before we do all that, I'm out in Colorado to meet up with Lanny Malmberg and learn all about what she and her herd of goats have to offer the landowners across the country.
Come here. Come on, let's go to work. Awesome. My name's Jessica Tracy, and I'm a Goatapelli apprentice. There's a jump over there. I have a fence coming off of right there, and it goes up into the trees right there, and comes down right here. So while you're out grazing, I'm gonna try to put those together, and I'll leave this side open, so you can come back in that way.
And what time is it supposed to start storming tomorrow?
3. I met Lonnie Malberg in California. She was on a job on a regenerative ranch. I was an apprentice there, and I fell in love with her work, and I wanted to learn more about it. So I decided that I wanted to come here and work alongside her and absorb as much knowledge as I possibly can from her.
Roscoe!
We got a goat to feed. Can I come with you? Do you mind?
Yeah, everybody can.
You talk about a unique way to manage weeds and enhance your property. Lanny Malmberg runs an operation in which she and her crew of goats and highly trained dogs provide an incredible service to the landowners. I was very excited to learn about the many benefits these goats provide and see them in action.
Walk up, right there. Back here.
Tell me exactly what these goats are doing for the ground.
Okay, they're doing 15 things at the same time, and they're self-propelled. So they have a selective diet, which is opposite to cows and horses, and they're recycling all of that in place and putting it back down and scattering it and trampling it in with the hooves. So recycling, fertilizing with pure organic fertilizer, irrigating. You get 1,000 goats a drink of water down there, and then I walk over there. I just irrigated this whole hillside. Aerating, tilling, mulching, preparing the seed bed, packing the seed bed, changing the energy flow down the mountain, fire mitigation. Does your tractor do that?
Does not. Does not.
Didn't think so.
Conventionally, people use a lot of tractors and herbicides. Goats are superior to that because they have more of a positive impact on the land. With tractors, there's a lot of compaction that happens. With that compaction brings in invasive weeds. With chemicals, you're killing a lot of the microorganisms that are in the soil that the soil counts on to provide healthy grasses.
There's definitely less picturesque places to work, isn't there?
Oh, this has been amazing. We came in to this spot at 1 o'clock yesterday.
So they've done all this, like I can see where they've been eating. They've done all this since 1 o'clock yesterday.
Yep, 1 to 9 a.m. this morning.
So from my understanding, like how many head of goats do we have here?
200.
But you guys have another herd not too far from here that's
Yeah.
way bigger than this,
Yeah,
right?
we have about 1,200 more in another herd, yeah. And they're working, so the beauty of setting this fence and working this way is intensively grazing.
One of the biggest takeaways I had from my afternoon with Lanny was just how beneficial these goats are for the land. From aerating to fertilizing, this herd can be taken places heavy machinery can't go. And watching how much of a science they had this process down to was incredible.
So on a normal place, we just run these goats down the mountain and over to where we're going.
Yeah.
But there's too much water and too many houses and too many roads and
So you would take them on mile track from here?
with dogs
No kidding.
and an orange flag.
With easily movable fencing and trained dogs to round up the herd, Lanny's love and care for the land is expressed in every piece of property she and her crew work on. I was just thinking that goat was fertilizing right there. It's just incredible. I had no idea that anything like this existed, and it's fine-tuned. I mean, that like watching her work the dog. I mean, the dog minds her. The goats know she's here. They know their job. She's opening up. They're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. These are wild animals, but they're obviously worked with a lot. It's pretty cool to meet somebody like Lonnie who has found her passion. I mean, this is what she's passionate about. This is what she loves. To the dog, herding them around. She just pointed and the dog took off, did what it was supposed to do.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Winchester Repeating Arms, the American legend.
Outdoor Lending offers a consultative approach to farm and recreational land lending. With relationships in mind, Outdoor Lending's concierge service matches the lender with the appropriate lending partner. Outdoor Lending, where we find you the best loan for your land. Learn more at outdoorlending.com.
It's what we've been waiting for all year. All the preparation. The early mornings and late nights. Hot, cold, wet or windy. Mother Nature isn't doing anyone any favors. From the piney woods of the south to the old-growth hardwoods of the east, through the ocean of Midwestern prairies and down deep into the marsh, you simply won't find more effective hunting camo. Gear for hunters, by hunters. Gear that works just as hard as those wearing it. Learn more about the world's best-selling camo at truetimber.com.
Winchester Model 70, the rifleman's rifle. This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by True Timber, the world's best-selling camo.
Let's head out to Owyhee County, Idaho, where Agent Austin Callison has an exceptional crop farm listed, Murphy Flat Farm.
The Murphy Flat Farm is a large income-producing crop farm in Murphy, Idaho, consisting of roughly 2,500 deeded acres with 2,290 acres of cropland that is irrigated under pivots. The property is being sold with priority 1963 and 1964 water rights from the Snake River. The irrigation equipment is included with the sale and is a combination of Zematic pivots, turbine booster pumps, approximately 60,000 feet of buried PVC mainline, and drip tape. The property is surrounded by BLM land and has an easement for accessing the pumping station on the Snake River. The farm features multiple outbuildings and a small set of scales. With an operation of this magnitude, the options are truly endless.
Now we're headed to Hamilton County, Texas, where Agent Ashley Adams has a turnkey winery and vineyard for sale, Red Winged Dove Winery and Vineyard.
Nestled in the top of the Texas Hill Country, the Red Winged Dove Winery and Vineyard is your chance to come home to live, work, and play on this gorgeous 79-acre ranch. The property includes a production facility and tasting room, roughly 8-acre vineyard with multiple ponds, custom-built home, and a barn-dominium. The business is being offered turnkey with everything you need to continue producing and selling award-winning wines. The approximate 2,700 square foot custom-built residence has 3 bedrooms, including a large upstairs game room and 3.5 baths, while there's another studio apartment in the barn-dominium. This is an extremely rare opportunity at a fully turnkey winery operation in the heart of Texas.
Finally, we're in Oregon to check out a listing Agent Austin Callison has listed, Succor Creek Ranch.
I'm Austin Callison with Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, and this evening we're at Succor Creek Ranch, and Succor Creek Ranch is right in between Homedale, Idaho and Adrian, Oregon. We're just a stone's throw from the state line right here. This ranch is a little over 1,050 acres. It has approximately 350 acres that's irrigated currently. They're irrigating the property through pivots and gated pipe right now. The owners are owner-operators. They run a registered herd of Angus cows here. The nice thing about this property is a guy can graze on the BLM. We've got a BLM permit that allows them to turn out at the 1st of May and get the cows back in around the 1st of November. And that's literally just right out the gate to the south boundary. The property is set up really, really good for cattle. Works really good for somebody that wants to have their cows up in the mountains and then be able to winter them down here. They have really good corrals, chutes, receiving and shipping facility. The fences, as we've been driving around here today, are really good fences. The Succor Creek is running through the bottom here. There's approximately 350 irrigated acres here. On the south side of the creek, a lot of that is under pivot. On the north side behind me is gated pipe. We had a really, really rough year as far as irrigation goes, and this property, with this year-round creek running through it, was able to irrigate a lot later in the season than a lot of the other farms in the area. So we have really good water rights. So the owners of the property, they do farm the property themselves. They put hay up and also pasture cows out there. So the operation lends itself to being able to have that pivot ground under production and put up 4 or 5 cuttings of hay, or be able to supplement it for cow feed. So there's a few different things that are going on in terms of how you would operate the ranch, and that's really up to the new owner.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. At Hayden Outdoors, we truly value our team of professional land brokers and agents. They are knowledgeable individuals, share our love of the land, and are dedicated to excellent work ethics and attention to detail. We are currently seeking experienced land professionals from coast to coast to join the Hayden team. If you believe you're a good fit, please contact us at 866-741-8323. We look forward to hearing from you.
Winchester USA Ready Defense is a select grade of personal defense ammunition that offers a unique combination of stopping power, penetration, and reliable expansion. The innovative hex vent rigid insert shields the hollow point by channeling soft material for positive expansion and energy transfer. Built with match-grade primers for trusted reliability. Be ready when you need it most with USA Ready Defense.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Conterra, financing American agriculture.
Now we're headed to New Mexico, where Agent Greg Little has a 14,640 acre property listed with exceptional trophy hunting and an abundance of income potential. Let's check out Rito Springs Ranch.
Grandfather and grandmother come to this country just after 1900 and homesteaded and started putting this ranch together, and so the cow work and roundups and brandings have been going on for over 100 years.
I'm Greg Little with Hayden Outdoors. Today finds us in Catron County, New Mexico on the 120-year-old Rito Springs Ranch owned by the Swayze family. Blessed to be out here today. We had an incredible day on a family roundup, and we're here with Kevin Swayze, the general manager and owner of the Rito Springs Ranch. Thanks for having us out today.
Well, we're glad you were able to come out today, Greg. We run our operation as a family. We're a small part in the food production chain. We have cows and calves and raise our calves through the summer and sell them in the fall like so many other ranchers in the Southwest do.
Today we're experiencing an old-time ranch roundup, roping, gathering, dragging, branding on a ranch the way they've been doing it for over 120 years on Rito Springs Ranch, Catron County, New Mexico. This ranch, while it's been run primarily as a cattle ranch, primarily with a backup hunting, but if you were to regulate the cattle just a little bit and tweak it a little more for elk, I think the sky's the limit. Is that safe to say?
I think it is safe to say. My son's been after me to try to do that. I'm in the cow business, but I may have to relent to him because that's really what the focus of this ranch ought to be with the elk, the way it's developed, and even with the way we operate. You know, in the mornings there'll be 100 to 200 elk down on irrigated and sub-irrigated ground.
Rito Springs has something that very few ranches in the entire country have, let alone in the state of New Mexico. We experienced one of the driest years in history last year, but you seem to have an abundant water supply on this ranch. Tell me about the springs and what that creates for Rito Springs.
It's really an oasis here in western New Mexico. Rito Springs Ranch is unique. There's really not another ranch around in western New Mexico like it. You have to go up to Wyoming really to find comparable properties. We have some big springs that are sort of in the center of the ranch. They run and accumulate into a lake. We collect the water and put it in irrigation ditches and water the valley below.
What we're looking at is the headwaters of the Rito Springs Ranch. It's a series of springs that originate out of the ground. This is coming out of one of the driest years in New Mexico history, yet this water never missed a lick. This whole entire valley, about 2 miles, stays irrigated, approximately 200 acres, and it is just the oasis of Catron County. Growing up here, we didn't always have the elk that we have today, did we?
No. My wife and I have talked about it a lot. The first time we really remember ever having elk here, we were in college already, so that would have been sometime in the early 80s.
Now Catron County is known for producing some of the top trophy, and I believe the most recently the new state record, a 442 bull, right up the hill here to the same unit, Unit 12, correct?
Yeah, here in Unit 12 they killed that magnificent bull just north of us actually. We've killed some big bulls here on us. You've seen some of the photographs we have. This area is just particularly well suited to growing big bulls, and I think the genetics are also unique over here, so we have some really magnificent animals.
Now we launched a boat here a little while back, took an adventure out on the lake today, and probably in 30 minutes we released, I'd say 15 perch and bass out there. What's that lake stocked with?
It has bluegill, blue cat, yellow perch, and largemouth bass in it. Yeah, it's really a blast fishing.
Well, it's sure been a pleasure out here today. We thank you so much for having us on Rito Springs Ranch today in Catron County, New Mexico.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Western Heritage Consulting and Engineering. Envision, design, build. The Winchester XPR. Experience performance.
Conterra Ag Capital isn't just another lending institution. We are a nationwide network of ag experts ready to meet the financial needs of farmers and ranchers in rural America. Conterra understands ag loans are never one size fits all. We listen to our clients so we can get the whole picture, not just numbers on a spreadsheet. We are there with boots on the ground. Conterra. Real people, real ag experts. Visit ConterraAg.com to learn more.
Goodland, Kansas, 1976 is where it all began for Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. Over 200 brokers and agents from coast to coast. We're still going strong. If you want to sell your farm, ranch, hunting property, needing a land valuation, or in the position to purchase your next property, give our team a call at 866-741-8323. That's 866-741-8323. Or visit HaydenOutdoors.com. Hayden Outdoors is the brand that sells the land. Your work is your ethic. Your handshake is your bond. Your word will outlive you. There's only so much you can leave behind in this life. Make your land your legacy. Landowners nationwide trust Western Heritage with their land enhancement and development. No matter what the project is, Western Heritage will make sure your future is in good hands. Your own. This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Outdoor Lending. We find the best loan for your land.
It takes a special kind of person to live out of a camper and run a herd of hundreds of goats day in and day out. And after I followed Lanny around for a day, I was convinced that she's one of the toughest around.
So this is going to be home sweet home for how long are you going to be here?
6 days.
6 days at this location?
And then on to Aspen.
After that, we'll be back to Aspen.
Yep.
You spend several nights in this thing a year, huh?
Yes. All of them.
All of them.
You have to like to do this.
Sure, yeah.
Look at my view.
I know. I mean, it's incredible.
You'd get arrested if you pulled in.
I guess if you do it every day, all day long, like move it that much, you got to have something simple to use.
Okay.
Home's up.
Let's go back over to the goats while it's light.
Great. So just follow you over to the goats then?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Whoa, Roscoe, look back. You forgot something. Look back. Bring him. Isn't that spectacular? That's good. Come here. Come on. Well, hi, there you are.
You can see how it's worked this ground. Just in one trip up and down.
And the fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Now.
Aerating.
So they're eating. This has got great diversity on this hillside here. They're eating. These are all local nutrients. They're full of those nutrients, and now look, it's in the hoop.
Yep.
And it's recycled and scattered and put down. You know, the big, you probably in Missouri would hire that truck with the white pellets that they shoot out.
Yep, we do. We spread it on our place.
And you drive that heavy old truck across your field about 72 times.
We do it every year.
You can't do as good a job as I do.
No, absolutely
not.
not.
No, you can't. And these guys work nights, weekends, snowing, raining, and all the holidays.
They're like mailmen. I mean, it's incredible to think like this has such a cool feel to it because you're up here in obviously native, untouched ground, looking at this beautiful scenery surrounded by $1 million homes. And you got a herd of goats out here eating the grass.
And I'm being paid.
It's
my career.
The one thing that I wanted to ask you coming out here, it definitely takes a special person to say, I'm gonna live all year long out of a camper trailer with a herd of goats. As I was thinking about that on the way out here, I was trying to wrap my head around that. And then after spending a little bit of time, it's pretty easy to see that it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. You're with the land, you're out here. I mean, describe that to me because it's a conscious choice that you're doing this. You found what you love and you're living your love.
Because I've been doing this 26 years as a career. I've never quit. And I've figured it out. And one way is everything I have has either 4 legs or 4 wheels, and I go to where the work is.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why it's easier to be successful is I move.
Sure.
And you change your scenery. You know, you don't like the view, you just move.
Not the same desk every day, is it?
That's right.
It's not the same desk every day.
That's right. And but I know how to do it. And we've built this into a bigger thing than just herding goats.
Yeah.
also. So now I'm recycling my knowledge, because I took all of my whole ranching career and put it to this business to know how to make a living.
So you may ranch more acres than anybody I know.
In more places.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us out. This
Yeah.
is such an incredible experience.
I try really
That's my
hard.
favorite goat right there, the little brown one with the spots on him.
Yeah.
For more information on any of our great properties for sale, please call 866-741-8323 or visit us online at HaydenOutdoors.com.